what you want. And
Welcome back, No Means Nerds, to No Means No Thing, No Means Nothing, the podcast where three idiots are undertaking the stupid quest to try to find the best No Means No song of all time. You know there's no such thing, but we're going to try anyway. I'm one of your hosts, Jordan.
I'm Matthew. I'm feeling particularly idiotic today.
And my name's Michelle. I'm going to talk like a NPR host today and
Excellent.
not mention
Listen to
anything
that
about
soft.
how I don't listen to lyrics. Thank you.
Very good, very good.
Yes.
We'll do an NPR episode, an ASMR
Sweaty
NPR
balls.
episode.
Soft, gentle.
Sweaty.
I
sweaty balls.
already can't stand it. So, all right, welcome back, everybody. You know the drill. We're really glad to have you back. Again, great episode for you. Hopefully, we'll some really great songs, some deep cut songs, I think. But before we dive into the music, which I know we're all sort of itching to do, let's.
Hey, there's our Christmas episode. It's our Christmas episode. Even though it's 2 weeks before Christmas, and it won't come out until 3 weeks after Christmas or some shit.
Whoa!
Yeah, probably.
Merry Christmas!
God, is this, or maybe this will be a New Year episode?
Yeah,
or an episode in the New Year.
Oh, fucking February or some shit. Happy Christmas!
Happy holidays
Sleigh
to
bells
you and
ring.
yours.
Are you listening?
Well, you know what? It's not going to
And
happen.
when
I had really
the
wanted us
snow
to
is
record an a cappella version of like what Slade says with fucked up lyrics, but to Christmas music. But it's not going to happen because Christmas is almost fucking here. So there goes that idea. Anyway, one of you one of you listeners, get on it.
Come on, that was funny, wasn't it?
It was a good one. That was really good, actually.
I know.
Let's get a little drunk. I'm gonna drink my good old standby Marniac. I didn't mean to, but I got a deep pour tonight. So look out.
Yeah,
by the
look
time
at
we
that
get
thing.
to the end of the episode.
Yeah, that's murky.
Yeah.
They're going to get higher and higher the more into this we get.
It's true. Michelle, where are you at tonight with your libations?
Oh, you know.
Thank God it's been so long since you've had a Guinness.
Time for the old standby.
Wait. Oh.
Widget.
That song has not come up yet, goddammit.
Oh.
I can't wait. I love that sound. That really is probably as close to my ASMR as you're going to find, is cracking open a Guinness and pouring it in that
How
glass.
about that? Why don't you get some for the house?
Yeah, I might, actually.
It's
I love
a really
Guinness.
good beer to have around when it's cold out.
I love dark beers, although in college, did you guys ever hear of that beer called Sheaf Stout? It only came in big 40 ounces, thick, dark wheat beer. Anyway, that shit was great.
Chewy as fuck.
It was chewy, kind of like Guinness, but back in my days when I'd like to get fucked up in college. All right, Matthew, what you got?
Well,
That was so boring in college. I smoked cigarettes and drank coffee. That's how badass I was.
well,
Jesus.
being that it is our Christmas episode in February, whenever the fuck this is going to come out, I got, let's have a look at this guy.
Oh, Santa's.
What the fuck?
It's
This is a vaguely pornographic Santa
Santa's
Claus
sack,
logo.
SAC.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. And his sack is conveniently placed and just as large as you'd expect.
By his crotch.
Santa's got big dick energy.
Santa's sack. That's a strong fucker.
What's the content? Read us out the
10,
details.
10,
Yeah.
10%.
Ooh, a 10, a perfect 10.
And to accompany Santa's sack,
What, you're going to have them both? Oh my God. What is this?
You son of a
Some
bitch.
penis
You
episode here?
son of a bitch.
we have from Moon Underwater Brewery. Oh, I should have mentioned that Santa's sack is from Bridge
such a
Brewery
guy.
in North Shore, and this is the Shaft.
Oh my God.
So we got Santa's sack. So it's sack or shaft, everybody.
Well, how about a glass
God.
where you carefully pour in half of each into one glass?
Oh, that'd be super
What do you
gross.
got next? The knob?
Because I think Santa's
that'd
sack.
be
What is it? Is it's like a? I don't even know what.
So how about a
beer.
couple
an
of
extra. It's
scrotes?
just an
You got a
ale.
couple of scrotes?
Well, we already did. I'll form the head. right?
Ode de pubes.
The Shaft Russian Imperial Espresso Stout.
Whoa.
And it
It
is
sounds
actually
really good.
referring to a mine shaft, everybody, just so we know.
yeah.
Sure it is. That's
I'm going to have to
exactly
go a
what it
little
is.
bit more with Santa's sack for the season. I think that's a little bit more on the nose, and we're all about being on the nose here.
All right, on the chin, balls on the chin. All right.
Balls on the chin. Teabag that beer, baby.
Sweaty balls.
Here it is.
Sweaty boy. We are earning that not safe for work tag in iTunes.
Again.
Explicit tag. Nope. No starting over. That's a podcast rule.
Oh, that's gross.
Is
yay!
it?
Just like Santa's sweaty sack.
Drink gross beer.
We have absolutely alienated at least half of our listeners by now.
Educated people with a little bit of expense money for such niceties. Why would you drink a shitty beer?
No, seriously, if it's really shitty, don't drink it. Drink the other one.
It's fine.
All right.
I've drank shittier.
Well, if you get halfway through and you're like, fuck this, I need something good, crack open the shaft, stick that shaft down your throat. It'll be good.
I'll absolutely do that. Yeah.
Oh,
dark.
Okay, I'm done. A dark show. I'm done.
Hey,
it is
ladies.
Over. Hey, ladies. I'm really sorry, everybody. I do deeply apologize. We're now going to move on to the part of the show that maybe you like better, hopefully, which is the music.
One of the songs all about genitalia. So there you go.
Yeah, well, I'm going to bring a vagina beer next week, maybe.
Sweet.
Yeah. Please do.
Okay.
Please.
All right.
Wait, okay, but I just want to say being lectured about making dirty jokes from you is just the height of irony, is all I want to say, and then I'm done. All right. We've got 4 songs for you. Wow. The first 2 are really good songs. We're going to start off One and the Same, which is off of Tour EP 2, but also off of In the Fish Tank. No, it's not.
Sorry.
I'm already fucking up.
Yep.
It's I'm thinking of the other one. This is One and the Same off of Tour EP 2. I was so thrown by all of our talk of I'm going to start over. We're so thrown off by all this talk of shafts and sacks. Let's gather our wits. I'm going to gather my wits. I'm going to take a little sip. Sorry, everybody.
Scrotes.
We'll get this right someday. So we're going to start by comparing One and the Same, which is off Tour EP 2, sometimes known as the Jubilation EP from 2010, versus Happy Bridge, which, of course, we mostly know from Why Do They Call Me Mr. Happy, but also is tucked in to 0 + 2 = 1.5 in the Victim's Choice Happy Bridge Ghosts intro demo.
Wow.
And it's pretty neat in there, and that is from 2010. Both from 2010, so that's interesting, but definitely different eras, because the other one, 0 + 2 = 1.5, was clearly recorded back in the 0 + 2 = 1 days. So we're going to start with One and the Same, and first let's hear a little bit of that before I opine about this song. All right. So One and the Same. I think I'm going to dig into lyrics a little bit here. So forgive me. I'll try not to be overly long. I get little notes. I really love this EP as a whole. I think it has some of my favorite of the latter No Means No songs. And there's so much great Rob thought on these. And that's sort of to me, a great peek into maybe where he was at a little bit in his thinking. And I think this song fucking slays. It's great musically. I know I say that all the time, right? Santa Slay. Maybe Santa Slay. Go ahead, get out of your system.
No, hey, you can slay anything you want to, but
that's right. So
I don't know if they're all slays.
Yep, this one is. So, but part of that is because I love what it's saying. I do love the way it starts musically. I love that great sort of straightforward Marshall beat that John lays down, and then you've got that little backwards sort of backwards tracking that then goes into the bass line, right? So he plays it backwards, which I think is a great sort of nod to the theme, which is really not all about, but really includes a lot of thought about opposites and polarity and unity in that. So again, a great start of this sort of holographic or fractal model of No Means No songwriting, where they like to put in little bits of musicality that reflect the theme. Fucking great. So this is probably, to me, one of the songs that Rob's wrote where I've talked about a few of the others, several of which are on this very EP, which his kind of nouveau Buddhist thinking is right on his sleeve, and certainly a lot of his philosophical thinking. I think not only is it Buddhist, I think there's a lot of kind of Heraclitus in this, who's this there's this Greek philosopher, kind of pre-Socratic Greek philosopher, who is all about the unity of opposites. And one of the things he said was like a famous saying of his is the road up and the road down are the same thing. It was all this idea that nothing exists on its own. It's always only itself because there's something that's its opposite. And only in relation to that thing that's its opposite is something really real. And of course, there is change, and it's a very subtle concept. But there's a lot of that in this song. He's leaning on that a lot. And also the Buddhist idea of unity and multiplicity, this idea that everything's connected, and that what we see and break the world up in these labels and categories is really just because of the way our senses work and the way our minds work and the way that we put language on things. And that's why we think things are the way they are, but they're not like that. They're a unity. They're all one big fucking thing. So he starts off this song by trying to point out that fiction for ourselves. He says, you're simply untrue, a lie to see through. I tell you, we're one and the same, right? That's pretty clear. You're not real. You, the thing you think is you, is not real. It's a lie. You got to see through it. And I love the line that comes next, this legs that carry a brain. And when they complain, just tell them you're one and the same, which is a great fucking way of talking about the sort of mind-body duality, the brain and the body, saying they're one and the same. But listen, man, when your legs fucking hurt, you can tell them all you want that they're one and the same, but that's not going to matter. Your legs still fucking hurt. So he's really like kind of put all this great subtle thinking. Oh, my leg. All this great subtle thinking in just the first 3 or 4 lines. It's really amazing. And he goes on to draw on another really well-used metaphor, the metaphor of the ocean and water. In Buddhist thought and a lot of other philosophical thought, there's this notion that each of us is like just a drop of water, a drop of being in the vast ocean of being. And that's what he's talking about here. But he's also talking about the water cycle by saying, fog turning into rain flows down the drain, but the ocean, it's one and the same.
Remains the same in Spain.
Yeah, right. So it's all the same thing. It's all one big thing. We just divide it up into these little things. We say it's this, we say it's rain, we say it's fog, we say it's this, but it's all one big fucking thing that we're a part of. And it's only our brains that are, and the way we think, that's dividing it all up. And straight into more opposites, saying dirt and, that they're twins, the dirt and the sky, the flames and the ice. I also want to note here real quick, because I'm actually reading the lyrics off a site here. These lyrics are not correctly written anywhere on the internet.
They're so shitty. And there's actually
they're so
bad.
They're so bad. And Rob did not include lyric sheets to this anywhere. Yeah. And so this is one of the few where you have to really dig in and said, listen, there's something a little bit later coming up that I'll be interested to see how you interpreted it, Matthew, because I think it could go a couple ways. But anyway, so it's just this really great sense that, you can't just have dirt and on its own. You can't have a universe filled with dirt. Dirt presupposes something above it, something open, sky. The two things exist together. They're not isolated. They're the two things make one. It's all the fucking same thing. And then I think it gets more brilliant when he starts talking about your face and the mirror being one thing and the same. If you think about it, the only way you know your face is because of a mirror. You don't know your face. Your face, your sense of self is
about that. Right,
but you don't know it. You don't actually ever know your face. You have an idea of what you look like, but only because of the mirror. Same with the sound of your voice. I mean, the same with your name. You just started to hear your name when you were young as a pattern of vibrations. It's just vibrations that were going through the air, and then slowly it gained meaning. And then as that sound comes out of your voice and other people's heads, it means something. But on its own, it doesn't. It's just vibrations. It's all one fucking thing. The light going from your face to the mirror is one fucking thing.
Vibrations and some flaps of tissue and cartilage.
Exactly. And so, but all of that's one big fucking unity, but we make these little categories out of it. No, that's my face. That's my name. It's not really. It's a fucking sound. It's fucking light bouncing off a mirror. You don't really know it. It's all one big fucking thing. And he just says it so fucking well. And I think the line that comes up where he says, "One lone island onto itself stands in the vast continental shelf," which is fucking great. That's a great way of illustrating this. Like, we look at an island, you say, "Oh, that's an island." It's not. It's just a little piece of land poking up that's just on a giant fucking piece of land under the ocean. It's just another thing we categorize. We look at it as a lonely little island. It's not. That's just the way we see it. But it's not really like that. We don't see things as they are. It's all one big fucking thing. It's really, really amazing. And I could go through this line by line. I won't. But he does this in every line, breaking it down really well, illustrating this point in different ways, kind of coming at it in different ways. He's a brilliant poet. He's
I wonder
a brilliant
if he thinks
fucking
like
poet.
this all the time, because that could be kind of crippling, where you just can't. You're psychoanalyzing everything you're seeing, and
I don't think so. I don't think so. But I think he can sit and deeply reflect, right?
Like I hope it's like that.
I mean, these are. I have affinity for Rob because this is the kind of shit that I like to think about and have spent a lot of my time thinking about. But I certainly don't sit around thinking about it all the time. But I do like to think about it. So a few more lines I want to point out, and Matthew, this would be the one I'd be interested to know how you heard it, because you can hear it a couple of different ways. There's this line, snakes that curl into whips at the flick of a switch, they flick on the very same pane. And it could be snakes that curl into wisps, but I think it's whips, because to me, this line is a really great little metaphor about you walk into a room, the lights are off, you see something coiled on the ground, your mind goes, fucking snake. You flip on the light. Yeah. Oh no, it's a whip, right? But both the whip and the snake, when they flick, are going to give you the same fucking pain, the snake and the whip. So he's packed in this huge fucking idea.
You need somebody to use the whip. The snake's and
you can grab the whip yourself and inflict pain on someone else.
You can grab the whip and flick it, right? Of course. But there's still this. Your mind thought it was one thing at first, and then you flick on a light, and now it's another thing. But which was more real? Well, you think it's the second one, but in the end, they kind of do the same fucking thing.
Snake.
Yeah, it's a really, really beautiful, beautiful little line. And I think it's interesting at the beginning of the song, he starts off saying, "You were simply untrue," and in the second set of lyrics, or of the second set of the second stanzas, really, he says, "Me, a lie," basically. So first he's casting out on you, then back at me. This great fucking reflection. It's really, it's just a great poem. Unfortunately, you can't find good lyrics like we said on the internet, but next time you get a chance, if you're into Rob's lyrics, sit down and listen to this one. I think it's a good example of where he was headed, or not headed necessarily, but where he was at.
Why don't you fix the lyric
I don't know.
thing online?
I don't know where to fix it. But
Matthew does.
So
I figured I'd never tried to, though. Yeah. Anyway.
So musically, I really like this song. I think it's great. I think the production on the tour EPs is absolutely fantastic. I think they really upped their game when it came. You get that the way the toms sound in the beginning. You just hear every little ounce of their vibration. They're so well mic'd. They're not flat at all. And I love the guitar work in it. I love the way the guitar interplays off the bass, and in that musical riff in the middle, the bridge sort of. I really like how there's this stair step of how the guitar has a riff and the bass is doing something else. Then the guitar steps up, does something a little more intense, and the bass takes over the riff that the guitar was doing. Yep. And then it kind of stair steps up together until everything becomes a unity. So again, it's this idea of these opposites or things in conjunction that become a unity as they get more intense. And of course, much in line with the theme of the piece, that fucking crazy like launch into the outer space soup of being at the end, where it's just that fucking echoing, voluminous fuzz that's so gorgeous. And those two major chords just bong, bong. It's just gorgeous. It sounds like the gong of creation in the middle of the primordial soup. It's beautiful. I think this is
not the gong show.
Not the gong show. No, this one certainly is not a gong show song for me. I love the song. I think it's great. I think it's a great example of Rob's late period mastery. It's not storytelling. I think he's a very, very subtle philosopher, and he's able to put very, very complex ideas, which I have not at all been able to explicate in the way I would want to.
He should write poetry. Right?
He should.
Shouldn't he? Yeah.
You know what? There was someone published somewhere. I haven't been able to find it in a long time, but someone published a long time ago a bunch of unpublished Rob poetry that they'd gotten a hold of.
No shit.
Ooh. Yeah, it was out there. This was actually back in the Sarah Francis post days. I think there was a bunch, and it was really good. It was really good.
Whoa.
But he's a genius at writing poetry that matches the music, right? It's not, right. It all lives well on its own, but it lives better when it's supported by the music.
Totally.
But this whole EP, this one with Perambulate, with Jubilation, with all the little bourgeoisie, all the bourgeois dreams, little bourgeois dreams. Bourgeois dreams. Yeah, those are all it's like a quartet of just genius lyrical and musical content. I think this is a great song.
Is that one done now? Have we done all the songs on this EP now?
Oh no, we have not done Perambulate. We have not done all the little bourgeois dreams. I thought we did. Oh. And I think there's another one we haven't done either.
Wow.
Jubilation.
All right,
Jubilation.
We did Jubilation. We did Jubilation, which is a great pairing to this song, I think. So I love it. A banger. Super great. Late period. Michelle?
Banger. Man, Rob's bass sounds so farty and cool in this. What I like best about this song is how it slowly, the middle of the instrumental part builds up. And you were talking about that, Jordan, going up the stairs a little bit until they, unify again at the top. Loved it. I like the regimented sound of the drums and the bass, which fits in well with the words. The ending is pretty colossal with those spiffy UFO noises, and most likely that was John doing some more knob twiddling. One of the more straightforward tunes that's better for me personally as some background music rather than the sit up and listen googly-eyed doozies I adore. Wow, that's what I wrote after everything you just said. Jordan.
No, I knew that was going to be the case. This is one of the things I love. We have different. We appreciate different songs different ways.
Yeah, I go. Okay.
Matthew, what about you? Where are you at with this one?
When the Terrible Machine spat it out, I didn't recognize the title. I had heard it, of course, but I guess I didn't connect the title with something like, what is that song? I do not know that song. And honestly, I hadn't listened to it. And hearing you talk about it makes me realize, as I was beginning to realize as I was writing my notes and listening to it, that and finally, trying to find the lyrics, and the lyrics are tremendously shitty. Whoever fucking wrote them out, fuck you. Just
I don't know. You got bad ears.
Listen a little harder. Yeah, Jesus Christ, it's really, really terrible. But they get a pass if it's some person whose first language isn't English. But if your first language is English, fuck you, because it's boo.
Look at that,
and just a quick note: if you're listening to the podcast, we're sorry for being dicks, but it's kind of true.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. Actually, it's not terrible because there's some fucking comedy in it, because it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
That's true.
It stands in the vast continental shelf. Stands in the vast of middle shell.
Yeah.
Come on.
What the fuck is that?
Do a service to the country, Matthew, and get on there.
Where are we going to put? You can't fix a page that's been published by someone else.
Yeah, you can.
I think you can, or you submit them or something like that.
Make a new one.
And
maybe when we make our web page for our podcast someday.
One eye blinks while the other one sees. That's a great line. The very same tricks of the very same flea.
What? Oh, that's cute.
That's not the real lyric.
Up the very same sleeve.
Maybe I wrote the lyrics.
This does seem like a lyric sheet written by Michelle translating a lyric.
There's fleas and snakes in it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I really, really like this song. It is it's definitely like a union. It's like a circular kind of thing. It's definitely like latter day, but then especially at the beginning with that after that interesting little tom melody that John is playing, which is kind of unusual way to start a No Means No song. Then the bass comes in. This like the beginning could be on Mama almost.
Oh yeah, yeah. Good point.
Yeah. I love that reverso effect once the toms kind of cut out.
Exactly.
It's so great, but it's almost like a throwback at the beginning. It's got a lot in common with older No Means No, but then very much the latter day stuff as well. I'm glad you said legs that carry a brain, because I didn't have time to parse these lyrics myself once I realized that the lyrics that were written down were so very bad. Yeah, like what's it say? I tell you, we're one and the same. Makes a carrier brain?
Yeah.
It's like,
so dumb.
okay.
No, come
So
on.
fucking dumb.
This has got to be a computer generated thing, isn't it?
It doesn't look
This
like it. The
sounds
one I
really
found was
ridiculous.
like a real, like someone really tried to make the effort, but
Oh,
Yeah.
but
Anyway,
did they? Did they though?
I love how all the instruments come in kind of one by one. It's pretty great. You know, it starts with the toms, starts with the drums, and then bass, and then just sort of builds into the intro, or not the intro, but you know that part. I think that's what you're talking about when you're saying that the bass is going up. Do 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 do. It reminds me of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh my God!
I love
like
that.
Do you know
Electric
who sang
Company.
that song?
The
No,
Pointer
no, no,
Sisters.
no. That was Sesame Street.
It was
The
a-
Pointer
No,
fucking
no,
Sisters sang
Nope,
that.
that was Electric Company all the way. Sorry.
No,
I'm
it's
gonna
Sesame
fight
Street.
you on that. That was Electric Company.
You lose. Already lose.
I'm
yes,
sure that
it
was Electric.
Sesame
All right,
Street, and it was the
Google
Pointer
it. Google
Sisters.
it, motherfucker.
Yeah. Anyway, I think
And
it's like
Quincy Jones wrote that.
a funk standard.
1, 2, 3,
I don't know
4,
how to
5,
describe
6,
it.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
This-
7.
Yeah. This song is perhaps one of the most proggy No Means No
damn it, I
songs
lost.
that I can
Sorry,
Don't
Yeah.
even fight me on Sesame Street. I will
Sorry,
always
Matt.
kick
Sorry,
your
Matt.
ass.
No, you're
There's
right.
actually
you're right.
parts that remind me of Rush, which I would never say
Oh.
of No Means No. Yeah, pretty awesome. I love the guitar solo, the first guitar solo. It's almost like a little bit doomier, in contrast to the rest of the feel of the song, which to me is quite optimistic. And I really,
Yeah.
it almost makes me a little wistful in that, you know, Tom, this is one of those songs where Tom's kind of finding his own feet. It's definitely his own style, his sort of like more kind of rock and roll standards, but like sort of harking back to older recognizable styles. But then he's also picking up a lot of the atmospheric kind of noisier stuff that Andy was always doing, and it makes me sad because I
Atmospheric, I like
wish
that.
they'd continued. Textures
I know,
and landscapes. It's pretty fucking awesome. And he does this sort of Middle Eastern scale, which sort of shows up in Latter Day No Means No quite a bit. I love all the effects, like a storm. It gets really fucking weird. I think it's the same technique, or maybe the same equipment as Self Pity, where the sounds get so weird and chaotic. And it actually reminds me of a band, one of my favorite bands that I've never actually referred to on this podcast, but Man or Astro Man. One of my absolute favorite
Oh,
bands.
I remember that on the old forum. Everybody loved that band.
Oh, because they're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, they
there
sort
was
of
a lot
get this
fans of that.
weird sort of science fiction. I think you even said sort of spacey sounding stuff, and then they snap back to that bluesy riff right to the finish. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's very cosmic. It's very
Yeah.
cosmic. He takes it
Can't
all
go
the way
wrong
up to the
with
fucking.
UFOs.
And
Yeah,
I,
man,
got,
he's- wrong.
I got so distracted by the shitty lyrics and the fact that I love this song but don't know it very well, which is actually really kind of a nice experience for me, that I didn't really think too much about. But the themes, I mean, they're very No Means No-y, but he's certainly talking about how everything's the same. You know, the flames and the ice and the dirt and the sky, everything's one. But yeah, this sort of dichotomy of duality versus unity, which, you know, duality is such a strong and constant theme in No Means No, like right from the beginning. sort of, your dark and light side, and all that Jekyll and Hyde stuff that they talk about, like Bob and Slade, of course. But in fact, everything's just the same fabric. And I kind of like that.
I mean, you've got
Bob and Slade, right?
you've got something dark against something light, right, on
Yeah.
these same EPs, right? Like it's really it's an evolution.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Thinking
Or
about
variation,
that, if
yeah.
that's sort of like philosophically how Rob's mind is, Rob as an artist and
Exactly.
as a human being, sort of his thinking sort of diverged, and then sort of, as this being one of their last releases, became sort of, I don't know, you just sort of found some harmony. And or at least acceptance.
It makes me feel like it's it makes me feel like it's a spiral, right? Like the ideas that Rob is into and they're always circling around the same thing, but there's like this ascendance, sort of like it's not a flat circle. It's sort of
Time
upwards,
is a flat
and you
circle.
really get time is a flat circle. This song really gives
Like
me
the
that sense
Guggenheim.
of how he was on a upward trajectory. I don't know, that's a dumb thing to say, upward trajectory, but like you said, there's something hopeful in this, or something uplifting about it. Anyway,
that's about it for me. Like I said, it was a nice experience exploring a No Means No song that I don't know very well, and which I clearly need to explore further.
I think there's a lot of people out there listening right now who haven't given these EPs their due, and just because maybe they
guilty.
don't. Yeah, they didn't give it. So if that's one of you, do yourself a favor. Try to find. It's on YouTube. You can find it now. Hopefully, these will be part of the reissue. But
Is it on my stick? Is it on my thing that I got?
Oh,
here?
I'm sure it's on the USB.
stick
That's
thing.
exactly how they
Is it
released
on
it.
my is it on this one? With
Yeah,
the
it's on
monkey?
that thumb drive.
With a monkey.
That's
Oh,
the
the
rule.
monkey.
Oh yeah, there's the wristband. That's right, the little
Yeah.
USB wristband.
Yep,
That's
I
on.
got
That's
one.
them.
Oh shit!
Bust it out, because it's got some other bangers coming up.
There it is.
I think there's one other song on these, two other songs on these EPs that I think are latter-day masterpieces. Anyway, we'll get to those when we get to them. All
I
right.
don't think I've ever plugged this in. Shame on
Jesus.
me. I know. Shame on
Super
myself.
shame. Super
Yeah,
shame.
I'm feeling it. I've been.
No, you're not, because you have one and it's right there where you can reach it. So that's pretty fucking great.
Yep.
All right,
handy.
Plugs it in
let's-
and lets the computer format it.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, Jesus. I need to save a Word document. Here's my
Yeah.
USB stick.
Shut up.
All right, let's talk about something
I can't
else.
hear it.
Let's talk about something else happy. We're going to have a little bridge to this Nick song called Happy Bridge. Here's a bit. All right. Happy Bridge. I mean, holy fuck, right? Talk about bangers. Talk about slaying. I think we can all agree
This
about
slays.
banging and slaying with this shit. I was interesting. I really did try to go back and listen to the Happy Bridge on 0 + 2 = 1.5 to see how it evolved. It's much slower. First of all, they don't play it as fast. So they were still learning it. Maybe it's interesting that they call the song Victim's Choice, Happy Bridge, and Ghosts, whereas there's mostly joy, and that joy goes into Happy Bridge, which is interesting on that 0 + 2 = 1.5 demo. And I like it well enough. It's but it is a demo. I think the version on why do they call me Mr. Happy? You can't fucking beat that. That's crazy. And also,
Yeah.
perfectly sequenced between the two songs that absolutely need it. It is absolutely exactly what's needed between Madness and Death and Kill Everyone Now. And the way that Madness and Death exits into this and the way that Kill Everyone Now enters from it is fucking genius.
And that's the breather.
Exactly. If I didn't know, if they hadn't released the Victim's Choice, that 0 + 2 = 1.5 demo, I would have sworn to God it was created exactly for that purpose. So hats off to John and Rob for figuring out, hey, that song we were fucking around with? It would go well right here. Yep. Fucking amazing. And this is the song I used to keep on my back pocket for my friends who were real music nerds, to be like, okay, I got a punk band I want to listen to, but before you roll your eyes, listen to this shit and just put that on and be like, now tell me that's not fucking virtuosity, because, and this is all Rob and John, right? So this is like just the brothers.
I bet John wrote this. This sounds like
it could
John's
be. Yeah. Maybe we'll be able to figure out. It does have that sort of like super, it sounds like it was composed on a keyboard. Andy's told us a couple of times that some like Obsessed and some of the other shit was keyboard composed. This has that feeling.
Yeah.
But holy shit, if it's not just a masterpiece of fucking rock and virtuosity, perfectly placed, perfectly sandwiched between those tunes, it makes those two songs kind of into a nice unity, because this literally is a bridge. It literally is happy. It's fucking everything. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I don't have a lot more to say about it. It's a happy
sandwich.
It is a happy sandwich. It's the sweet, sweet meat in that depressing, dark, fucking sandwich of doom.
It's pumpernickel bread.
But I love this. I never fail to headbang and just fucking air guitar and bass and drum when this comes on. You can't help it. If your butt doesn't wiggle when you're listening to this, you're dead, probably.
Right.
All right, Michelle, where are you at?
Uncle Milton's Ant Farm.
Didn't expect you to say that.
Yeah. Do you know what that is?
I don't. I took a big swig and I almost spit it out. I don't know what that is.
It's a thing you could buy as a kid. You bought Uncle Milton's Ant Farm in a box, and you made. And I'm serious. There was like
I know what you're talking about.
That you put in there, and you watch them like fucking walk around and shit.
And what's that? Where's this going?
That's what the song is. It sounds like a bunch of ants walking around in there just doing their shit.
Gotcha.
Oh, seriously? You didn't know what I was talking about?
No, I got it.
I'm just like pulling some kid's game out of my ass.
No. I was like, I want it. Give me the bridge to your thing. I got it now. That's awesome.
You do the Sesame Street pinball game, and I do the Uncle Milton's Ant Farm.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. One of the most inspiring get up and go fun jaunts around the place you'll have when you hear this banger. Just join on in with everybody else on the train to Funky Town. It's exactly what you want to hear when you're going hiking. I almost couldn't read what the hell I wrote. When you're going hiking, and we all know what you'll yell out when you get to the top of the mountain. What will you yell out, boys? If you're going hiking, you're going to listen to this song. You get up to
Uncle Milton Dance Funk. Well, what?
Come on, you're going to listen to this song when you hike.
Kill everyone.
Right.
Now. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
The beginning with its snarly and sinister woven blob of slyness erupts into a jovial romp. And as I said earlier, everyone is going out of their minds. Many, many fans love this ditty, and for good reason. It's catchy, cool, and coils its way into an epic teardown that kicks your ass and blows your mind.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Preach. Yeah. Every word is truth. All right, Matthew, where are you at?
Yeah,
on the Ant Farm.
It's happy, and it's a bridge. Between Madness and Death and Kill Everyone Now. I don't know whether we've actually mentioned the songs.
That should be all you say. Yeah, I want you to say more, but that'd be funny. It's a happy and it's a bridge.
Yeah, no, it's the rope between a fucking tug of war. And
good one.
You can really hear the hands gripping either end of it.
Yes.
Right.
Pretty much. It's very bouncy. It's very dancey. I love the hi-hat in it. I can actually play this song mostly myself.
Nice.
Which is always fun in a No Means No song. I love the counterpointed, very, very busy bass and the soaring guitar, and then they stop in unison. It's interesting. Like, yeah, the bass tells a story or takes you on a little journey, and then the guitar takes its turn, telling you a little story as well. Yeah, not much to say. Yeah, like you, it needs the songs on either side of it. On its own, it's like oh wait, oh fuck, that was a fucking MP3s.
Yeah.
It's an
Well, I'll tell you,
interlude.
when I was listening to the song, I had to listen to Kill Everyone Now. I was like, well, I can't fucking not hear this. Like, I can't just stop it. I've got to keep going. Yeah.
You can't.
Because I love
just...
that. Well, I can, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to, is what I'm saying.
I see what you mean.
I don't mean like I can't because it's not good without it. I just mean like, well, now I got to hear this because fucking come on.
I see. I see.
I wonder, actually, when whoever makes the CD, who determines where the fucking division is between, especially
right?
Happy
Where
Bridge
does
and
that?
Kill Anyone? How? What?
Fuck, I've thought about that.
It's like, I was like, okay, where, what bar do you do it at? Like, where does it actually end?
Because
I mean, is there actually on the LP a groove line, like one of those groove lines between these songs? I don't think so. It's got to just be one big long fucking set of grooves, right?
Hey, you know what, vinyl fans? Fuck you.
Tell us. Yeah, exactly.
What? What do you mean, fuck you?
Because they're all like nodding, rubbing their little chins and going, oh wow. It's like, oh, you computer listeners. Oh, you CD listeners. You puerile children.
It's okay. I'm one of you.
With your Macintosh amps.
Yeah.
You have one of those?
I don't.
Those tube amps? Those Macintosh tube amps?
What the fuck is a Macintosh tube amp?
This is a Macintosh.
Whoa, you haven't seen Macintosh amplifiers for stereo systems?
Oh, those things. Yeah.
Oh, Jordan. Those are better than sex. They're gorgeous, very expensive.
So this is not Macintosh like
No,
Apple.
these are not like app. No.
Okay. Then yeah, I gotta.
Like
Am I saying the right
caramel.
thing? I gotta look it up.
Yeah, probably you are. Yeah, I'll have to look that up.
I might be. I gotta Google.
Let's find that on the internet after we're done.
Not
with
a
the episode.
Macintosh like a raincoat.
No. All right. Listen, this is going to be a vote.
Yep,
I don't actually.
Macintosh like an Apple.
No,
actually,
I was right. Oh yeah, I was right. Oh my god. Yeah, they're really fucking expensive too.
Oh shit. Well, there goes
Want
that.
to see this picture? Can you see this? Look at this. Look at this sex.
No, post it in the chat after. I see tubes.
No, but it's.
I see shafts and sacks.
The
All right.
This tube right here.
Yeah, there's that tube. We're going to actually, frankly, I'm a little worried that.
Wait, is Matthew finished? I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna finish this fucking 10%.
No, I'm talking about. Are you finished
I'm
with
done
your
talking.
thoughts?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna vote, and
Jeez.
I'm actually afraid that one of us is going to be a little disappointed. I thought I was gonna be the outlier here and let this go happily into the sunset, but I think maybe not. So I'm gonna vote. Listen, Happy Bridge is fucking amazing. It's not a complete song. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh,
But
hey,
one
now,
in the same. I do not think the late period songs get the love they deserve. Certainly not from Michelle, who shits over most of them. I think
I'm not shitting, I'm kidding. I'm a snoot.
I think
I'll put my shit where it's due.
there is some utter brilliance in these late songs. I would like people to pay more attention to them and give them their due. So even though I do think Happy Bridge is absolutely a fucking banger, I'm going to give my vote. I'm going to give my vote because I only got one of them to one and the same. Michelle, you get to vote. I don't think we even need to take your tally, but what do you got?
No. Do I have to say it?
You have to say it. It's got to go on the record.
I'm going to say it, Happy Bridge. The confounded Happy Bridge.
That's a
Where's
good
that
vote.
Confounded Bridge?
That's a good vote. I figured mine was going to be a throwaway vote. I don't know where Matthew's going. Matthew.
No, and I love that you voted for the underdog there. That's cool.
And I love that it's an underdog, but let's see, where are we going here?
Matthew, do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Oh, yeah. No, like, as I said, it was a tug of war, between two very muscular opponents. And then, look at that rope. It's a very beautiful, well-made, well-woven rope. It's shimmering in the light. It's strong.
Yes, it is.
Tough.
Powerful, sexy.
Yes.
But without the other side's pulling on it, and it's kind of not.
Come on. It's the meat in the sandwich.
It's the meat in the sandwich.
Other than that, you get 2 pieces of bread. Come on, man.
Yeah, but I don't like to just pull pastrami out of the fridge. I got to put it between some bread and some mustard.
You don't
and
eat a slice of cheese once in a while? What about cheese?
Once in a while, but I'd rather have a full fucking pastrami sandwich. If I'm going to vote, I'm not going to vote for the slice of cheese. I'm going to vote for the full sandwich.
One of the
same. I
can't
believe this.
I can't believe it goes through either, actually. I'm so surprised. This is an absolute shocker. And I'm sure there are people right now like throwing their phones on the floor going, fuck you,
one of them. Here's
you
my
2
phone.
Idiots.
Here's my phone right here.
He's throwing
it. No. I'm excited that one and the same goes through because now I get to fucking dissect it a little bit more and get to know it better. And actually figure out what the fucking lyrics are. You moron out there who transcribe them.
I do. You and I can talk. You and I can talk about it, Matthew, because I spent a lot of time decrypting them. I think I've got it nailed down. I figured them out. Yep. I'm sorry, Michelle, but I guess
this is worse than the 1980 Olympic upset.
Listen, Happy Bridge did not.
Better.
Happy Bridge is absolutely a classic. This is not an easy choice for me. It was not easy.
It seemed pretty easy to you.
No, it's not. Absolutely not. I absolutely love Happy Bridge. This was not easy. And I'm partially giving it to one and the same for meta reasons. Not because I don't think it's a great song, but because I myself want to appreciate the later pieces more. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to give into the narrative in myself or others of they were losing their touch or they weren't as good as they were. Like, I think they were great towards the end and going into a whole new fucking place.
Yeah. That's totally for me. Same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that song was an upswing.
It was an upswing. Right. Yeah. Just like Jubilation for me. There's a couple.
Now?
I guess I am. Yeah. We've talked about them. Sorry.
No, come on. I'm just fucking. No, go on.
But
cool.
anybody who's listening, who's engaging with us on social media, then let us know what you think about this. I'd be interested to know where people are falling on this, and maybe one of the things you want to do is give us a call and let us know how fucking stupid we were about this choice. You want to say like Strangey was right? You other two assholes need to get off the podcast. Put me on instead.
I'm gonna call.
So I'm going to give you the number that you can call right now.
Write this down.
I got a call today on my cell phone from Pakistan, and I wondered for a moment, like, do I have these forwarding to my phone? Because you can do that on Google Voice. And is someone calling us from Pakistan? But actually, it just turned out to be a spam call, so it wasn't from a listener. But if you're in Pakistan listening...
Hey, Matthew, I beat you.
Well done.
Thank you.
That was
Pakistan and Spamladesh.
Chef's kiss. No, Pakistan beats it. That's oh my God.
Uh-oh.
In any event,
I'm starting to get affected by
you got eggs, bacon, spam. So call us at 415-493-8630. That's the United States. So I think the country code is 1 because we're number 1. And call us again. That number is 415-493-8630. 100th caller gets nothing because we'll never get 100. We'll never get 100. We'll never get 100 calls.
We mentioned Pakistan and Spamladesh there. I wanted to mention some India adjacent countries. We had some downloads from Bhutan.
I mean, come on.
I don't even know where that is.
Come on. What are you doing, Bhutan?
If you are out there and you're doing a VPN thing and just setting your shit to Bhutan, that sucks because it would be so awesome if we had listeners in Bhutan. I know for a fact that Bhutan was one of the last countries to get internet at all.
I don't even know where it is.
It's in that.
I represent the ignorant part of the fan base.
No, and listen, we've got listeners all over the world. I wouldn't surprise me if there's someone in Bhutan, which means there's a listener of No Means No. That's more important. More important than a listener of our podcast is that there's a fan of this goddamn band all over the fucking world. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Totally.
Hats off to you if this is you, and it's you because you're listening.
Hey, can I go get another beer?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Can I do like a Matthew's pee break, but getting another beer?
Well, I'll go pee break if you go get another beer.
Wait, are we going to leave Jordan
so I'm
by
gonna be sitting here
Jordan's
just jacking off to myself. All right, go for it.
Tune.
All right,
I'll just unzip my pants and do whatever. All right, see you fuckers later. No, they're literally just taking off their headphones and leaving me, everybody. This is great. This is great podcasting. So while I have you, more of you have been sending in your stories. I'm really grateful for that. I do want you to give us a call because it's really easy. And it doesn't have to be your normal story, right? You don't have to do a normal story of calling us and telling us your no means no origin story. We'd love to hear it. A no means no anecdote. We'd love to hear that. Or what no means no means to you. I'd actually especially love to hear that. It can be talking about how we got one of the songs wrong or what one of the songs particularly means to you, something like that. But we'd love to hear you. The listener engagement to us is really fucking fun. And hopefully it's fun for you too. So, dig in, give us a call. I think it's the easier way to do it now. And I'd rather hear your voice than have one of us assholes read you. Oh, wait, here's Michelle. Don't tell us we were talking about her. Shh, she's back. She's back. Listener, I won't tell her what you said. I swear to God. I won't.
She's got a big mouth.
Oh, and here's Matthew too. So, shh, quiet. He was choking the chicken. He says he's going pee, air quotes. We know what that means. All right, so we're going to hear a actual listener submission. We had Ian Roberts send us in this wonderful fan submission. Thank you, Ian. We appreciate it. And now we're all going to listen to it live. Now, Matthew and Michelle, have you heard this one yet?
Nope, I have not.
Great. Good.
So it's exchanged some messages with Ian and
great. Yeah. So buckle up. Michelle, you got that beer cracked?
I got the beer cracked and poured.
Good. All right. So this one
cascading right now.
Yes,
one,
Ian, I have freshly urinated.
Excellent.
And now I'm listening to your submission.
He's ready. So here we go. Let's hear from Ian.
Hi, my name's Ian Roberts. Normally I live in the northeast of England, but actually recording this for the podcast in the beautiful Dutch city of Utrecht. So I think my no means no story begins actually in the 80s. When I was a young kid, I was into nothing but metal. There's men, women in denim, leather and spandex. I was into it until somebody gave me an album by a band DRI and it completely blew me away. But where I lived, there was nobody else was listening to that kind of music at all. So a number of years went by before I went to the northeast of England to Teesside Polytechnic for my further education, and bumped into a guy, and he looked at whatever band was on my T-shirt at the time. He said, "Nah, you don't want to be listening to that. You want to listen to some hardcore." And I said, "What, like DRI?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure." So I gave him some tapes, and he recorded me a compilation. And one of the songs on that tape was Rags and Bones by No Means No, which instantly kind of blew me away. So I returned the next day, I think, with about 10 tapes and asked him to fill them up with No Means No. And then I think the very same evening I went to an alternative disco in Middlesbrough and was on the dance floor and a song came on and again completely blew my mind. It was just drums and bass and the guy singing. And that was Big Dick by No Means No. So I ran over to the DJ, asked him what it was, and he informed me it was Big Dick. And I think pretty much from that moment on became a lifelong fan. Coincidentally enough, the guy that was playing Big Dick that night was Dale Tomlinson, who later, a number of years later, actually went on to become the tour manager for No Means No on a couple of their European tours. So my first gig was at the Newcastle Riverside, I think in 1993, which was, of course, an absolutely amazing experience. I think the whole gig is on YouTube. You can go and watch it. And then around the similar sort of time, a band I really liked, which actually Dale Tomlinson was the guitarist in, they were looking for a replacement bass player. And I said, I really, really like the band. So I said, I'll do it if you want. And he'd actually heard me when I'd been in a different band on the same bill. He'd heard me in the warm-up for the sound check playing Rags and Bones by No Means No. So he remembered that and said, yeah, you can come and play with our band. So I ended up playing in that band with Dale for a number of years. So time goes by, and this will be now moving on to round about the year 2000, perhaps. And the first thing, I think the guys doing the podcast mentioned this as well, the first thing I did once I got onto the internet was search for No Means No. And the first thing that came up was an emailing list run by a guy called Billy, I think in Los Angeles. And it was the host was Afterburner Sonic. And there was various people on there. One of them was Sarah Francis Woodell, who I think the guys running the podcast know.
Yep. Yep.
And another guy that was on that emailing list was a guy called Olaf. And strangely enough, here in the apartment in Utrecht is Olaf mine.
Oh my
Hello,
god.
my name is Olaf Mine. Yeah, welcome. My story is that I got socialized with the Neue Deutsche Welle, which was kind of a punkish version of German music by that time. And one day, a guy gave me a record of Big Black. It was 1985, I think. The Atomizer, and still the Atomizer is my all-time favorite album. It changed my life. It changed my life musically. So I was a hardcore Big Black fan. Nothing heard except Big Black. And a couple of years later, I was in Münster. And I went to a record shop, and by the time the guys knew my taste, and he gave me a record. Hey, have you ever heard of these bands? And it was No Means No, Live and Cuddly. And I never heard of them. And so I put the record on, and again, I had a second favorite band of my life. So Big Black and No Means No are but the two absolutely massive by miles, most important bands to me. And the Live and Cuddly, I think I heard that through a year something. The killer bass at the beginning, it's catching up. It's still, it's like every time I heard that record, it's like the first time. It's still saying, oh, what a great piece of music that is. Mm-hmm. And as it happens, in May 1990, No Means No played the Odeon in Münster, one of these famous venues in Germany where all the bands I love, they used to play. Unfortunately, that venue closed in 2002. And my friend Arle and me, we went to see No Means No. And by that time, it was still, of course, was Andy Kerr. And they opened the gig with "It's Catching Up," so these killer bass tune, and it was just live is a new dimension. So No Means No seeing live, they play on a different level than any band I know. And but live, it's just watching Rob's playing bass, John playing drum, and Andy Kerr by that time singing. Was just, I've never seen that before, and since then I'm a very big No Means No fan apparently. And I was looking for, but this time the internet was kind of, it was just like a digital chalkboard, nothing more than that. And I coincidentally bumped into the Afterburner Sonic mailing list where I met Ian, and I pretty much liked Ian's sense of humor. So he had this very British sense of humor, and he made some, and it's very, very funny. So about 20 years back, my wife and me wanted to go to Scotland, and I asked Ian, so can I just come along for a cup of tea? And he said, yeah, it's okay. And his wife was a little bit reluctant to see because we only knew from the internet. My wife was a little bit reluctant because I knew the guy only from the internet. But we both we agreed that if someone is a big No Means No fan, he can't have a bad character. He can't be a bad guy.
Fuck yeah.
He can't be a nasty person.
Right.
So we met. We actually stayed overnight, even though because we had quite a from first second on. His wife, Ian's wife, once had his twins separated by birth. So, and we had a very good relationship sometimes, very good friendship. It's even more a little bit like. It became more than a friendship. It's kind of a family now. So we now meet regularly on a regular basis for 20 years now. So a couple of times I fly over to England, and he comes, and usually with his wife, he comes to us. So even for family festivals, so we have a good maintenance of our friendship. It's even that my daughter just flew over to work there for 10 days in England. So we're entering the next generation in our friendship. So since then I've been to, I don't know how many, by 1 year I managed to see No Means No live for 5 times because they played in a distance of about less than 100 kilometers where I live. So I saw them in I think in 2 weeks I saw them 5 times in a row. it was always to see No Means No live is always a massive experience. Yeah, Ian and me went also together to No Means No concert, like in the famous Brudener Social Club, which is like the Odeon in Münster. Time goes by, and I'm handing over to Ian.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we went to 3 concerts together, I think. The Duan Russia in Nijmegen, and also the Gebäude 9 in Cologne, and then, as Olaf mentioned, in Leeds at the Brunel Social Club. Time goes by some more years, and then a guy, you might know his name, Tommy Holliston, said he was coming to play in England and was looking for venues to play in. So we contacted Tommy, and he came and played up in Middlesbrough. And I was lucky enough that my little solo project was the support band. And after the gig, Tommy stayed over at my house, so the strange situation of the guitarist from my favourite band in the universe sat around my kitchen table playing show business giant songs on his guitar, which was absolutely incredible. So we've had Tommy on twice, and we're looking, hopefully he's going to be coming back to England next April, I hope, to do another show.
Cool.
The other thing we've been doing, I've been helping Jason as well. Jason Lamb, who's writing the big magnum opus on No Means No. So I've been helping him transcribe interviews. So interviews with Cecil English, guys from the Neos, the U-Men, and I also helped do half of the Mammoth Jello Biafra interview. So I've been listening to that and then typing it out on Word for Jason. So that pretty much brings us up to date. We're currently in Utrecht at the Guess Who Festival, listening to more crazy music from around the world. So that's mine and Olaf's No Means No journey, kind of like friends for life, purely because of the band No Means No. Okay, bye.
Nice.
All right,
what crossbeam's gonna skew on Triddle?
What?
Don't translate it. Just let it sit there. Okay. Listen, this is one of the reasons I love this. First of all, thank you, Ian and Olaf, and more proof that I absolutely believe in my deepest heart, and it's one of the things that I think this podcast has proved between the three of us. People who really grok No Means No on a cellular level are good people. And so one of the things that I think it was Olaf had said, when you meet someone who's really into No Means No, you know they're going to be good people. Like, you don't actually have to worry. You don't actually have to be concerned about, like, I don't know if I want to fucking hang out with this person.
Get killed.
You're going to fucking like them. It's just how
I feel like I could
go
unless they only like Oh No Bruno.
Unless they only like them. I'll talk about that.
No, but don't you feel like you could go hang out and eat dinner with these dudes? Like
100%.
Your whole life?
100%. And I'm sure that everyone listening,
and they're mostly dudes, and their wives are like, dudes. "Do you really want to hang out with someone from the internet?"
But
and then the wife is like, "Oh yeah, they're awesome."
Yeah,
I've had that experience myself.
Yeah. No, I dream of someday getting our Lisas together, Matthew. I'm sure that they would also really relate. So, Ian, Olaf, 2 for 1 there. That was fucking awesome. Amazing. Yes, thank you for sending that in. Please don't let Ian and Olaf be on their own. Give us a call. Send us in a clip. Everyone, we want to hear from you. This is as much your podcast as ours. This is a podcast that I think everyone's been wanting for a while. We all want to geek out about No Means No. We all love them. We get plenty of time, plenty of this podcast to hear our fucking voices. Let's hear yours. Yeah. So send them in. Let's hear what these guys mean to you, where they started. I fucking love it. All right. Let's move on to part 2. So another 2 really great fucking songs, very different, very eclectic. Well, one of them
might be a long fucker.
It's going to be a long episode.
Is it?
Okay, so we're going to start off. Right? Oh yeah, we're good. Who cares about it? The longer the better. They're going to get longer as they go along. Sorry, everybody. So we're starting off with "You Are Not One," which is off of 2 EPs released the same fucking year, "Would We Be Alive" and "In the Fish Tank" versus "Body Bag." Off of I Won't Make the Same Mistake I Made Last Week. This one's off "You Kill Me," 1985. Now, most of us know it from Sex Med compilation. It's not compilation, but the extended CD that's got "You Kill Me" and Sex Mad. But this is actually from "You Kill Me." And as far as I could tell, it's the first track on that album. So we're going to pit these two against each other. We're going to start off with You Are Not One. Here's a little clip. Matthew, You Are One. What do you got?
Another one of these sort of Roadhouse blues ZZ Top-ish.
Yeah.
No Means No songs. I didn't actually clue in that because of the way that I enter stuff into my phone. I have all of No Means No shit on my phone. I put it on the car. I put it on at work. I put it on the thing in the garage. And so there's a in the fish tank version as well, and it's actually not You Are Not One. It's they use the contraction You're Not One, so it didn't come up for me, and I didn't have a chance to analyze the differences. I do believe they are the same, but they're mastered differently. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, probably the most similar of the different versions that we've ever put on.
Yeah. So, yeah, You Are Not One. You have no individuality, but you are also not part of the whole. It's kind of an interesting dichotomy. Can't decide. You are, they actually say you are one a lot all through the lyrics. But this song, You Are Not One. So, yeah, an interesting kind of inclusion. You'll always be excluded from things you want to be included in, which is an interesting and very No Means No-ish kind of take on things. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a basic song. It hasn't got a lot of lyrics. I didn't really think a whole lot about it. It's a little bit of a throwaway song, I think, from Mr. Happy Sessions. For me, it can't really decide what it wants to be, this song. I kind of want it to go somewhere, and it never really gets there, or it changes its mind on its way. So I'm not super unhappy that it's not included on a sort of. It's on some EPs, but it's not on a sort of main
Desert Island disc
album. Yeah, exactly. It's not on a Desert Island disc. It didn't really have time to distinguish itself. I don't know. I do like the fish tank version better. I think you can sort of hear the instruments a little more distinctly, and maybe the guitar playing a little more distinctly. So I listened to that one only after I discovered that they were different. Didn't really have time to delve into how different they were. Or
they're not.
In which ways.
They're not.
Yeah.
Very different.
But I do like how it builds to protect me at the end. It sort of builds to it in this very, very snarlier sounding end on the fish tank version, which I believe is probably to do with the mastering and less to do with the recording.
Right.
Weirdly, in the lyrics, it kept saying Shapiro, Bernstein and Company were credited.
What?
So I actually probably could have spent a little more time thinking about the song, but I saw that. I'm like, wait, is this a cover? And I went hunting to see whether it was a cover, but it's probably just more fucked up,
it's
lyric
like
weirdness.
some Tom thing.
or
not
a Tom thing. Or a Tom thing, yeah. Good point. A little more acceptable if it's a Tom thing, a little less acceptable if it's that same deck who...
The algorithm.
Yeah. Who transcribes the other song that we talked about earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one... like I say, it's a No Means No song, so I'm not going to hate it, but it is not not a favorite, and I'm glad that it's not on a canon album. So per se.
All right, there you go. Michelle, what about you?
Man, this is a toe tapper, isn't it? A bit of a simple piece, but crunched up enough to make it really interesting and cool. The opening line, mother, father, sister, brother, and then a bit later, husband, wife, daughter, son. Very clever how it morphs and keeps you alert and engaged with the piece. Tom's really integrated in this very well and sounds great mirroring Rob in a complimentary way. A great song to cut the rug.
Nice.
Short and sweet, that's me.
All right. Well, I think maybe I like this one a little more than you two.
You're not that short.
I do like it. I think they liked it enough
Yes,
to put
I
it
am.
on 2 fucking EPs for one. I do have to say, like, the only time I ever saw them play this live was when they did the tour for You Are Not One. No, for yeah. No, what's the name of that album? Would We Be Alive? Sorry.
Would Be Alive, yeah.
When they did that.
Yeah.
And so they played it then, and it fucking was so good live. It was so crunchy, and I love that little the little hitch on the bass. It's just it's groovy as hell.
Catchy.
And I actually think the lyrics are pretty fucking cool. I think this song is about how we are pigeonholed into our identities. We absorb the identity of family. How we're so roped into this idea that family is our identity. And it starts with this idea as a kid. And that's why it starts with saying mother, father, sister, brother, because that's your identity as a kid. You're either a sister or a brother, and you've got a mother or father. Then the next verse, the next verse is husband, wife. So now you're an adult, and now you're either a husband or wife and a daughter, son. So now they're your daughter, right? Son. They're not sister, brother. And then it just goes into the ancestry. Cool. But I love, because then it says you are one, and it's so emphatic at the beginning. You are one, right? It's a matter of like, and that can be read 2 ways. This idea that, you are one of these things. You are, no matter who you are one of those things. That's it. You, no matter who you are one of these things. So accept it. You don't get to be anything else. You're a mother, you're a father, you're a sister, or you're a brother. That's it. You are one. And that's your pigeonholed. And then the next one, it's the same thing. You are one, and you're pigeonholed. We're all like locked into these identities. We're all fucking trapped. Then there's that really interesting lyric in the middle that I hadn't really parsed out. It always befuddled me a little bit till I really sat down this time, and I think I maybe understand it a little bit more. This part where he says, it's a lie, we're just good friends, What did you see? What did you hear? We're just good friends. And what those lyrics make me think of is that feeling of when I heard the little kitty.
I'm sorry.
That was awesome. I love the kitty.
That's Grigson.
It has that feeling of when you're a teen and someone is looking at you with someone else and saying, oh, you guys are a couple. Like everyone wants to make everybody a couple or a pair or pairing off at that age or at any age. But like, you're a couple. And you have that reaction of like, no, we're just good friends. It's a lie. What have you seen? What have you heard? It's a lie. Like already at that age, people are trying to force you into that pairing, into that mother, father, into that husband, wife. And you're like, I don't know. And then he ends with this really plaintive, what do you feel? To kind of give this feeling of like, relationships really matter from what you feel, not from what's defined on you. And after that, what's after that is when he says, you are not one. You don't have to be defined by that shit. It's what you feel. What do you feel? That's what matters, not what someone calls you. And the rest of the song is all about what someone calls you. And then there's that the beautiful set of lines about tracing back to the past. Mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, great-grandmother, great-grandfather, great-great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother, mother of all motherfuckers, like tracing all the way back through the lineage, like protect me, like fucking save me from this fucking boxes that everyone wants to put me in. And yet we really still are part of this lineage. You can't escape it. And yet it's also a prison. Like we don't want it, but we can't help it. So it's one of these songs that part of me is thrown away in the past. But when I really listened to it this time, I fucking got into it. And I thought there was a lot more here lyrically than I'd ever given it credit before. And I really appreciated how Rob, I think this is Rob lyrics, I would assume, how even in something that I was always kind of like, I don't know what he's saying. Like, actually, no, there's a lot fucking there that he can say just by changing the description of our family unit. And yet through that change in the description, potentially anyway, at least in how I read it this time, there's a lot fucking contained in it. God, I love this guy. I mean, Jesus Christ.
He's a thinking man. He's a
thinking man. So
he is the thinker.
He's
the guy in the statue.
Like, is this one of my favorite No Means No songs? No, but it's not a throwaway to me anymore. I actually think I think it's pretty fucking great.
It doesn't sound like it is.
Yeah, I think it's pretty great.
Are you sorry? Are you
no, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. No. I thought it was really interesting metrically how you are one. You are one.
He leaves the room for not.
There's a space there. And it's in the title, but it's almost like sort of you are, and it's like, you can insert the not, but you can also insert anything. Kind of thought, or just like any kind of like, I don't know what to say. One,
they didn't say not in that part.
No, not in the beginning. He starts off for the first two verses when he says that, the first two choruses, he says, you are one. You are one. It's only at the end that they say you are not one.
Not one.
You
are.
Okay. So it's only after all of it. Yeah. Which I think is instructive. The fact that they add that in.
But you are. Wow. So it's like it inserts a space for a question. I don't know what I'm going to say next. What are you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool.
It's very cool.
I don't know, man. These guys, it's that those littlest things leave room for so much fucking meaning. Right?
And it's very cool of you to like hear it and see it and eat it.
I fucking little devour that shit.
You can eat buffet.
Yeah. All right, so maybe this one. I think this one's going to be a little more universally loved. We've got fucking Body Bag off of You Kill Me, and this song kills me. 1985. Let's hear a little of that piss track.
Shapes beginning to form on marble slabs or flat on your back. All colors fall into the basic black of the body bag. Of the body bag. Of the body bag. Of the body bag. And strange. Open your lips and tell me the name of your body.
All right, Matthew. Sex and death.
What an oily little song this is. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I have to admit, it's one of my favorites, and one of my absolute favorites. And it's actually one that, when I'm introducing people to No Means No, ones who I really think will get it. It's just like a shibboleth almost. It's like
a what?
Here, something that tests them.
A shibboleth. Okay.
Yeah, in terms of I can offer a song that maybe people will find accessible. So like Now, or this one. This is weird as fuck. This song is so distilled. No Means No. It has that feel of so many of the songs on Sex Mad that it feels like it was recorded in this case very possibly literally in a basement in the bathroom.
That's what's cool about it, though.
Yeah.
Low-fi.
It's so dancey. I mean, the bass, the kick drum does a do 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 do. I love how the bass and drums are in sync for so much of it, and then like the guitar is just like tearing in at weird, fucking crazy angles. I love the fact that all three band members sing.
I wrote that too.
This is an example of maybe one of the ones where me as a speech language pathologist can actually go, oh yeah, that guy has vocal damage. you can hear
the nodules.
You can hear the nodules in this one for sure.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's almost when Andy's singing, he goes into like an almost comically bass range of his own voice. Not natural at all. Fantastic. There's a lot of modulation, a lot of humor in the vocals. A lot of contrast, which I always like in No Means No songs. Noisy and quiet. One of my favorite lines: "Nobody knows you and nobody wants to."
Right.
Yeah. No. This sort of body horror era of No Means No, where I've been thinking about this a lot this week because I sprained my fucking wrist and hand.
Yep. He's hurt.
I really started thinking about my because it was an injury. It was one of my first, maybe my first real ropes and pulleys kind of injury, where thinking myself as like a mechanical system. I understand what went wrong.
You didn't think you were going in a body bag or anything.
I didn't think I was going in a body bag, but yeah, I'm just a collection of fucking parts is what I was thinking. And that's kind of what the song is about. Little Willie, he's also pretty. And that's kind of why I chose these beers for this Santa's Sack and the Shaft.
Very appropriate.
Did you bring a titty beer?
No titty beer. I've never actually seen a titty beer.
Titties.
Which is kind of strange.
But this song's all about your...
Let's not give anybody any ideas now.
The song's all about your meat. All praise for corporal flesh. Corporal means pertaining to the body.
Yep.
Of course.
Carpal tunnel syndrome.
Yeah, corporal tunnel. Yeah.
I'm on fire tonight.
Yeah,
I am on fire
good.
tonight.
You're doing good.
On fire.
I found it interesting how in the lyric sheet it actually says, and this sort of confused me as a kid, because I was obsessively reading lyric sheets. It's like molding balls of faces and blood, and that's what it says on the lyric sheet. Even though it's feces and blood, and in Live and Cuddly he says
feces,
and shit. And
even
and
though
blood.
in Live and Cuddly he said they say shit.
Shit and blood. Yeah, exactly. But
nice.
faces and blood is actually much more evocative of a line, especially when you're trying to figure out what is this band doing? Yeah. What is this band doing to me? But yeah, molding balls of faces and blood that we're all just meat and shit
balls,
and not much more than that.
The body bag.
Is it something completely different? That is a Monty Python reference.
Different. And then?
Yeah.
Right.
100%. Come on.
And now,
come on.
Fantastic.
A large.
Is it
a man
womb,
with a tape recorder up his nose?
or is it a
large.
tomb? What a fantastic!
Oh, that's
It's-
genius.
It's not just talking
Oh
about
my
like
God.
the
Isn't that
uterus. He's
amazing?
talking about the body itself. It's just like where you just here we're going to betray my Star Trek
Is
nerdiness,
it a
but like
womb or is it a tomb?
salt bags of mostly water. We're just salty water, and that's kind of what the piss sound is about too. I mean, they are recording. I'm positive that it's an actual piss sound, but
That was confirmed to us. That was confirmed
Yep.
to us.
Yep.
amniotic
confirmed.
fluid,
I don't wanna
salty
know who's
water,
doing it, though. I
tears,
think it's
salty water, blood, salty water, piss, salty water. We're nothing but salty fucking water. And that's fantastic. And then
Electrolytes.
all colors fall into the basic black of the body bag. We all die. We're all made of meat. We're all made of
that's-
salty fucking water. Anyone can wear the body bag anytime. That's the basic black. To me, the live and cuddly version, I definitely like the studio version better. The live and cuddly version, although it has a lot of personality, it feels a little rushed to me. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, it's adrenaline from a live show. Everything's
sure.
faster during a live show.
For sure.
Everything is.
This, they say the eyes are the windows to the soul, but I love all the little dark holes in your body bag. Yeah. You remember when I made that? Strange. You remember when I made that little graphic of my cat when she had like no irises? It was just like dark pupils.
Oh my God. Matthew, that is one of the most amazing cat photos I've ever seen. Still to this day, you have to show Jordan that. That is just an amazing photo.
That cat's still alive.
That is the most amazing photo.
She turned 17 this year.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, she
my
has
God, Matthew, I love that photo.
Some little dark holes. Anyway, some of my favorite
holes. Yeah.
The creatures of earth are countless and strange. Open your lips and tell me the name of your body bag.
Tell me the name of your body bag.
I don't know. This song is so it evokes so many images in my head still, and over the 30 plus years that I've been listening to it, like I listened to it over and over again on my way to work for the last 2 weeks or so. I kind of can't believe this song exists. And that I was listening to when I was 16 years old.
Nice.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, it's a real formative thing for me.
It makes death more accepting because you're gonna go in the body bag.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, and we're all
body bags aren't scary anymore. They're kind of cool.
Yeah, no, we're all just body bags. We're all sacks of meat, and who fucking cares? Even when if I can blow up my wrist and feeling old and shit, it's like, whatever. I'm just a sack of meat like everyone else. I'm a sack of salty water. I think I'm going to go piss in the yard. Anyway, I love this song, and that's all I'm going to say. No.
Oh.
Just in general, existentially, I'm going to go piss in the yard.
We're all just... What did Bill Hicks say? Something about being something with a... Oh, he said a thing now. Say it. What did he say?
Strangey, none of those things you just said are helpful, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no.
That's
they said something, and they said something.
With sneakers on.
Oh.
So...
And you got sneakers on. He said
ugly
something
bags
about what we
of
are,
mostly
but
water.
We're wearing sneakers.
But what is we know what Bill Hicks says about the song, but what do you say about the song, Strangey?
All right, it's my turn.
Your
okay.
turn.
I think from now on, I'm going to have a googly eye. How many googly eyes does this song have?
Right. There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Not hot peppers.
When we
or,
kiss,
flames.
my googly eyes are closed.
My googly eyes are closed. Yeah. So Andy showed up to the recording studio that day with a container of Cheese Whiz shaped like a guitar. Because I'm going to be talking about this goddamn guitar here.
Salty.
The spacey sounding drums, along with Rob's punchy bass line, constructs the casserole upon which the Cheese Whiz is smeared. The verses seem to be sung by people who have googly eyes, and I'm thinking all three have parts in this that they sing. I thought so too. Vocally, yes.
Yeah, they do.
Someone pees in a bucket. That's what we were told. Somebody peed in a bucket.
Hell yeah.
And then you can hear somebody laugh on the recording too, which is great.
Well, it's a great pee.
Once again, they have
Epic
married
pee.
the vocals. It's like the guy was saving it up for the moment. They have married the vocals to the music, and it's creepy silly as it is cool. This song is outrageous as hell and a snarling doozy of a composition. There are a slew of posters in the next room of this guy, but fuck you, Jimi Hendrix. This guitar solo is one of the most outrageous, hilarious, and right mutations known to man, and it's glorious.
Fuck yeah.
A must-hear gem that encompasses the humor and brilliant songwriting this band has the nerve to perform. Total Goomba? No. Total Cheese Whiz.
Nice. There we go.
I said what I said it.
I said what you said, and that's all that you said.
Fuck you, Jimi Hendrix.
Fuck you, Jimi Hendrix.
Fuck
No,
you, Jimi Hendrix.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. The guitar in this song is
Smell
so
Vita.
fucking good. So fucking good.
hilarious. Hilarious.
So first of all, one of the most iconic bass lines of any No Means No song. This song, this buttery ass, juicy, fucking greasy bass lick.
Sinuous.
It is so good.
Covered in oil.
And I'm just going to go on record and say far better in this song than when it shows up again in Ashes to Ashes. Sorry.
Whoa,
We'll talk about
wait.
that
What
later.
did you just say?
This bass line is repeated in Ashes to Ashes later.
Recycled.
It's just speeded up. It's very
Reduced.
speeded up. But we'll talk about that later.
I'm going to need to
Recycled.
research this further.
Yeah. So anyway, this song is just a absolute classic, full stop, 100%. Love this song. Every way up every dark hole, I'll take this song. Any way you want it. Lubed, unlubed, just give it to me.
You're going to take this song up your dark hole.
Lyrically, I love the fact that, as Matthew, you pointed out, body bag means all sorts of things. It's the womb. It's a literal body bag. It's just my bag that my body lives in. It's all the things. Every way that you can think of those two words together, this song talks about.
Oh, I knew it.
Santa's sack.
I knew it. Santa's
But
sack.
I also love the way
Yep.
this song really it approaches that way that we try to figure out sex and the body as little kids on the playground. That like how weird it is, and like, ooh, you're little Willie, and oh, those
Willie.
titties, like just this sort of like there's this juvenile feeling to it of like how weird the
Titties.
body is, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
that's so weird, But and it's so earnest,
Titties.
and
Yeah.
none of you mentioned perhaps
Sex is
one of the
very,
best,
very silly.
yes,
Very silly.
Neither of you mentioned perhaps one of the best line deliveries, full stop, in all of
the
No Means
guitar
No.
solo.
No,
I
no, no,
mentioned
no,
the best
no, no,
guitar
no,
solo.
no.
Yes, I did.
The lyric delivery. I breathe through my nose. That is just gets me every fucking
Oh,
time.
like it's not a mouth
I
breather?
am on the floor with the way that's delivered.
Yeah.
That is pitch perfect. I don't know how many takes that took. I don't know if it was one take.
No.
but
One
that
take.
was pitch
The way,
perfect.
I mean, when we kiss, my eyes are closed.
My eyes are
My
closed.
lips are full.
I'm full.
Breathe
I
through my
breathe through my nose. That's
He's
just
congratulating himself on how clever
Exactly.
he is.
But this
for
is
his
again why-
strategy.
This is why it feels like
not
it
a mouth
feels
breather.
it feels like little kids discovering this, right? Like this has that
Teens
feeling to me.
figuring out how to kiss.
But this is what I mean, that feeling of teens and kids being like, "Oh my god, you're this other thing. I get to touch your titty. Oh my god, it's so weird." I've been watching this show. I don't know if either of you
Second
seen
base.
I don't know if either of you seen it. There's this brilliant show, and if no one out there is watching it, watch it, called Pin 15 on Hulu.
Oh, you mentioned it, yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's got these two
You just
it's
did
got,
mention it.
It's got these two women
Sorry.
who are like in their late 20s, but they're playing tweens, and they're surrounded by other actual tweens portraying that time in their life. And this song really reminds me of it because it
This
captures
sounds
that.
awful.
Yeah, well,
And
oh, no, it
sounds
is.
good.
It is
Pen
so
15.
good. It is so good.
Means?
It is
Pen
so
15.
good. I swear to God. You would not believe it. Anyway, I'm not
What
going to
word
go into
does
that
Pen
too much.
15 make?
Yeah, what does Pen 15 make? It's an old middle school way of spelling out penis. All right, so
Oh, it is.
yeah.
There we
so, so yes,
English. You can also write that on a calculator too.
And Matt, like you talked about the line of nobody knows you and nobody wants to. It's the idea that like, well, we want to look at all the outside and get into it, but you don't really want to think about. You don't really want to think about the guts inside. You don't want to think about what's really in the body bag. I just want to think about
Gross.
what's on the outside. Like that's fucking gross. Nobody wants to know that shit. Fuck it. Because you know what? As soon as we're born, we're rotting away to death.
Yeah, and you know what? You always have poop with you.
Always
At all
got
times.
poop. You always got poop and pee. It's always there.
Hey,
Always
So what's interesting to me about that line about see the children play in the mud, again with the children, so back to this sort of juvenile feeling, there was a part of me that always early on when I listened to the song heard molding and thought of moldering instead of molding. And moldering is of course when something molds, like gets mold on it and decays, right?
Yeah.
So I've always heard it both ways, like molding, making mud pies, and moldering. But it's also that idea that like this to me is really about that the zygote. Like the zygote gets this little kids just forming this mud and blood into more kids. You're just making more fucking kids. And
You like golem thing again.
Yeah, exactly. And it just brings the fact that there's that creation, but also it sounds like mold. It sounds like moldering. And so it's also decay and growth and playing in the mud and these fucking kids. It's just, it's amazing.
It's that guy from the show, the molder.
Death.
The molder and
the smell of love, the smell of death. There's always the two things together.
Smell.
Life, death, birth, death. Being the womb, being the tomb. It's fucking gorgeous. And I love that, like
a sack, just like the sack of water.
Exactly. All the sack of water that's quiet and warm. A complex shapes that beginning to form.
Two of us on here are a little bit liquored up.
Yeah, maybe.
I am for sure.
Yeah.
And I love the
Guilty.
all praise. I love the all praise for corporal flesh. The goddamn like snap to attention at that for corporal.
and
It's
then
just
John goes,
it's so fucking good. And straight from a nod to pregnancy into embalming, and how there's darkness at the beginning when you're in the womb, to there's darkness when you're on the slab in the body bag.
Oh man, this is a good one.
Open your lips, so it's your lips, but it's also your fucking vulva. It's your lips. It's everything is a sexual pun in this. Everything has two meanings. Everything's a molding ball of shit and blood. This is a masterpiece of
Those
album
items
and song.
come from the same area. If
They
you think
do.
about
It all comes from the body bag. It's all from the fucking body bag. And actually, while I also prefer the studio version mostly, I have to say that I love the musical breakdown at the end of the Live and Cuddly. This was one of the songs, along with Some Bodies, I think, where I really missed seeing in later shows. Sometimes they do it, but they never were as comfortable going off script and just jamming in this shit as they were on Live and Cuddly. I never got to see that era where they just would jam the fuck out of these songs. And you really hear that in this, where they just, and I think Andy confirmed with us that they would jam on this. Like, it wasn't just planned. They would fucking riff and go off.
Totally.
And I don't know that Tom,
Live and Cuddly version.
So. Yeah, I don't know that if Tom was not as comfortable with it, or they just weren't. I don't know, whatever. But it just never was quite like that. They just played the songs brilliantly, but they played the songs.
Right.
And so this is one of the songs where I love to hear them really break that down. And the creatures, and they just are slowing it down.
Oh, that
and just going nuts. I just love it. I love it.
That
exactly. I mean, yeah, that bass line underneath it. It's just, it's so fucking great.
That is anthemic. It sounds.
I know.
Like
this is what I'm talking about.
Just gorgeous.
So while I like the studio version more overall, the ending of this on Live and Cuddly, I'm so grateful that it got captured.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking good. So 18 googly eyes, 18 titties, 18 little willies. 18 titties and willies. Thumbs up.
I was making funny faces because on this thing I'm staring at of where the lyrics are. No, it says songwriters. It just says Lux, Lux. And then Body Bag Lyrics, copyright Warner Chappelle Music, Inc. It's like, what the fuck?
What the hell are you looking at?
I don't know.
What page are you on? Some like Betty Crocker
the trusted
shit?
source for lyric and data licensing.
Why don't you look on the CD?
No, let's go to the CD. All right, everybody, let's get this back on track. We're gonna vote.
Lux Interior.
Yeah. I think this is gonna be
need to know about.
This is gonna be a really hard one. So Matthew, I'm gonna let you go first. Who are you voting for on this one?
Well, let's refer to my Santa sack and the shaft to figure out what's the hard one.
My God.
No, it's body bag by a fucking,
All right, very good.
Michelle, orbit with.
Let's not keep people in suspense. I know you're going for You Are Not One.
I'm going for one of the best guitar solos ever laid down and ever played down. That fucking guitar solo. Where the fuck did Matthew just
He's done.
go?
He's cast his vote. He's out. Fuck it. Who cares? He doesn't give a shit.
Okay. All right. Yes, I'm voting for Body Bag. And that guitar solo fucking kills. And
it does. Agreed. It's killed me, and you kill me,
so
and
cheesy.
Body Bag goes through with 3 votes, because who the fuck would not vote for Body Bag? Give me a fucking break.
Come on.
What a fucking weird ass, awesome fucking song.
Ass, awesome.
I know.
This is one of those epitome No Means No songs that captures their virtuosity. It captures their virtuosity. It captures their humor. It captures their brilliance. It captures all of it. Look at those titties of Guinness she's floating around.
No,
None of this is
no,
going
I
to
didn't
make
do that.
none of this is going to make much sense when it gets onto tape, is it? Oh, you hear the live and cuddly callback, everyone? That was nice. I got it. All right, everybody. So we have put through one and the same, and we've put through Body Bag, and unfortunately, back on the slab at the table go Happy Bridge, which has taken the Rainbow Bridge out to Valhalla.
You ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
And You Are Not One, because apparently it's not one. But now we're going to listen to a little Andy's corrections,
Matthew,
read
can
by
you
our
read?
very own Matthew Kowalik.
What were you gonna ask me?
Can you read the thing?
He's going to read it.
Yeah, I can read the thing. I thought you were
all
gonna
right.
ask me to try to do Andy's voice or something. I'm not gonna
No,
do that.
No.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I haven't fixed my melodica yet.
That's okay. The mouth.
It's
I like
still under
you're our Foley
construction.
artist. You can do it with your mouth.
All right. Okay. Andy's correction corner. I was reminded recently that, this is for This Wound Will Never Heal. I was reminded recently that this wound was in our first concept order of what would become 0 + 2. For reasons long forgotten, it was sacrificed for something else. I recall having a disagreement with Rob during the mixing of this song. He had already written the guitar part, how he heard it in his head. While I didn't find in such an interesting part to play, that was okay. We're always good with supporting each other's musical visions. But when we got around to recording it, Rob felt the guitar in the verses should be way in the background, heard, but just barely. I suggested simply taking the guitar out altogether, but he wanted it there somewhere. To this day, I think it would have made a better two-piece song. Don't know if I agree with you, Andy.
I don't know if I agree.
Hey, I think he can go where he wants to go because that's the rules.
It's his song.
Yeah.
All right, next.
That's the rules.
Next, Dead Bob. This was always incredibly fun to do live.
I bet.
Yeah. Lots of goodies to look forward to while playing. Rob wrote the words. I still have his original lyric sheet of it somewhere in my attic. But I can't remember who wrote the music. I think... Lots of extra I's, N's, and K's there. Robbie. But it could be John too. No, it doesn't have some deep meaning, but it does seriously rip in my humble opinion. I do know there were a fair amount of folks who did not like this song at all. I'm not one of them.
What? No.
My favorite line? Mary had a little lamb, and then she had some veal.
She stuck her finger down her throat, and then she threw up everything. Oh my God, so good. Mr. Kerr, as always, thank you for your corrections. This whole fucking community is better for it.
We should call it Andy's Attic.
Andy's attic is actually pretty
Right?
good. That's actually pretty good.
Let's go upstairs to the attic at Andrew's house.
I kind of like it. Let's talk offline about that. This may be the moment, the last time you hear Andy's corrections.
Andy gives a static.
All right, everybody.
In the attic.
This has been a really long episode, so we're going to let you go in
We've
peace.
been slowly getting drunk, apparently.
I have, not slowly,
Two of
very
us.
quickly. Three of us, I think. So we're going to let you go. You've been with us for this long journey. We're grateful. Listen, here's a little bit of meta news.
Hey, you know what? Merry Christmas and shit.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And happy New Year's. And if you've listened to us this long, you've listened to us talk about 100 fucking songs. But don't worry. There's still 60 left to go.
Oh, don't tell people that.
No, I think they'll like it. It's good. And you know what? There's some good fucking songs still on the docket.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Kick up, man. We got some good shit coming.
We already
Stick
did
with
Tired
us.
of Waiting, so...
Stick with us. Yeah, and we already did, Mary 0 + 2 = 1. So we're basically done. No, but my number one song is still sitting in the tank, is all I got to say. It's still there. My absolute number one song of all time, written in any language, in any country, in any planet, is still sitting there.
Cool.
So,
excellent.
No Means No Thing is produced and edited by yours truly, Jordan Flato. Co-hosting and podcast graphics are by the excellent Matthew Kowalik.
Oh, yes.
Michelle Strangest is our third and everyone's favorite co-host and official Foley artist. Thank you to No Means No for the use of Stock Taking as our intro and outro music. And as always, thank you to Andy for your corrections and your vast attic and support.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm going to go ahead and admit that I'm Mama's little boy, and I'm mad.
Oh wait, I need my
Get your fucking shit. What do you need?
paper.
Get your shit.
Write it down.
I gotta paste it. Gotta get the shit because I gotta piss
You
so
write
bad.
it down and then
I
take a
got my
photo of it.
pen.
I don't
I
know
gotta-
why I do that.
I gotta
Give me something to write on, man.
I gotta go because I gotta put my daughter to bed. So let's run this shit. All right.
Hey, no,
gotta
you said
pee.
9 o'clock. It is 8:59.
It's 8:59.
Hey, look at that! Check it out.
Ooh,
All right, let's
okay.
do it.
I like this one. And speaking of which, I just fucking talked about this. So how great is that? Sorry, I guess I'm
Don't
giving
say it.
away.
Remember, put it in the thing. Don't
I'm
say
not.
it.
I'm
Oh
not.
yeah. Oh,
Okay, here we go. It's not my number one. Everybody, don't panic. There it is. For your pleasure. And for your pleasure. And number 2. Okay, another. I'm happy to talk about these also. All right. Let me give them to you right here. And
man, you type fast. Holy shit!
no, I'm copy pasting. I'm not typing.
Oh.
There you go. Boom. In the chat, baby.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you very much.
Been a while since we had one from that album.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, everybody. Now, get the fuck out.